Hello everybody and welcome to another vlog. And that thing is something I've had for quite a little while, but I've never turned it on. It's actually my logo. It's too far away to actually look good quality, but you can sort of make it out. Ish. Anyway, now I have been debating on what I was going to do this video about. It was either going to be about where, like what games are basically going to be done next for the channel. Because I have sort of run out and nothing new is coming out. That sort of rhymed. Not really. Anyway, the other one was going to be when I start trying to create my career, because obviously I'm not doing it on YouTube, but obviously what would happen to the channel and what I'm thinking about doing with it. And I might merge them together, I'll see how it goes. But basically, so the main thing that So, I have sort of run out of games now. Need for Speed Payback is the main one, and I'm pretty early on in that, so I'm pretty sure that's not going to end anytime soon. Well, not it's going to end soon, but maybe varying on how frequently I do stuff. But I also have Hitman, which I'll probably film tomorrow, and that will be, unless I do videos on elusive targets, which now that I've sort of unlocked all the skins that require me to get certain leveling like Silent Assassin ratings, which I cheated and used YouTube. And now that it doesn't matter and I just need to complete them, I could go ahead, enter them and find out what happens. The last time I did that, neither of them went well. But anyway, so yeah, it would also give me a chance to try some of the skins in other locations. But anyway, once I finish Patient Zero, I never intended to go beyond that. But now that they've moved when Red Dead Redemption 2 was going to come out from spring to autumn, big leap, but anyway, it did mean that I now didn't have anything to try and film, which is really annoying. I have though gone, well today, but today when I'm filming it, probably yesterday, it's Friday, yeah. I did go out and get The Last of Us, which, to be honest, isn't a huge thing for me. I've watched loads of videos on it before I even got it, so I'd know what happens in the game. But yeah, I'm playing that, and that's quite fun. So what's going to happen is sort of unknown to me at the moment. Hitman seems to be the main thing. If I can get my PC to actually start recording stuff, I will actually start trying to put videos out of Gmod again with other people because I suck by myself. I'll even have like the webcam set up and things like that, so I could do stuff like that, and I will then feel very Venturian style. So yeah, I'm filling with my sleeve. Obviously, if I finish Hitman Patient Zero, which I'm going to do very soon, there's 2 more, yeah, then I may go ahead and do Elusive Targets. But I may also do the PlayStation exclusive thing, which is like the Santiago. I always want to say Santiago, but that's not it. Sarajevo. It's something like that, 6. Which is each map with a new target. And that's it. It's like a mini plot line, I suppose. But it's not hugely impactful, and they can be really short. Like, I can do the Paris one really quickly. The one in Colorado, I don't know how long it takes me, but probably be about 5 minutes. I'm probably in the game for maybe a minute because I literally load in, take a sniper up to a tower, and then just snipe him, leave, and that's it. Because he's walking right across an open area, usually by the time I've gotten to the tower, so, you know, it's quite easy. And yeah, so I might do those. They would be very short videos. The other thing is elusive targets, because I've collected all the skins. Well, the skins that I want, not all the skins, obviously. I've collected skins I want, or at least the ones that require me to do Silent Assassin. So that's the Terminus outfit and the winter suit, because I missed one, so I had to do one other. And I didn't film those because I cheated and used YouTube. That's how I was able to get Silent Assassin on every single one. But I could go in and, well, yeah, do them whilst they're there. do them and film them, and it could be interesting. I don't know. I've never done. Well, I have done one elusive target by myself, though I must admit it was one. It was before it finished. It was the second to last one, which was the one in Hokkaido where your target was one of three people, and one of the videos I used, which was apparently one that you could do from level 1, because I have basically no, I'm rubbish at that one. I barely have any points in it, and I should try and push them up a little bit just to make sure. But I don't plan to anyway do much in Hokkaido. There's no real reason for me to try to do really well in that one. And it would be interesting just to see how I try to figure them out. I've watched a few, but I skip through them. I didn't really watch them, so anyway. But yeah, so I could try and do some more of the elusive targets. Need for Speed, I think I'm early into it, but that's going to come to an end soon. I could finish Mass Effect. I haven't really touched it since I stopped playing it on YouTube. That's also because I got Mass Effect 3, and then I went and then realised that really, because it didn't know what I had really done in the previous games, I had to go back, and I'm now replaying. Well, technically I did play the first one. I replaying the second one, and then I'm going to import my file across, so then I get the one a character that I actually like the look of. And yeah, so I could film Mass Effect 3, which, to be honest, is really good. I never finished it. I played a bit of it and realised, I played up to the point in which I killed Talia and made her species go extinct, the Quarians. Yay! That was my own decision. That's not a spoiler, I suppose. That was a main mission that I made a really bad decision in. Yes, do not let the AI overrule them. As I found the hard way, as I said. So yeah. And that's when I stopped, went back, and redid Mass Effect 2. Well, I'm redoing it. I've just finished on Horizon, I think, so I've just finished sorting out the re-met up with Ashley. Anyway, so yeah, so basically, if I am going to do any more games, if anything, I might jump over to either maybe doing I've just realised that I also have the older Uncharted games now, the remastered ones, the Nathan Drake collection. So I might go back and play Mass Effect. Not Mass. I'm tired. I don't know why it's a holiday, but anyway. And play Uncharted 2, which, to be honest, is, in my opinion, it's actually my favourite of all of them. I play Mass Effect. I play Uncharted quite a lot. I don't know why I'm stuck saying Mass Effect now. I play Uncharted quite a lot, and Uncharted 2, if I wanted to introduce anyone to the series, that's the one I do. Uncharted 1 was a bit iffy with the characters. That's why I don't play that one really at all. Anyway. So yeah. So, if anything, I'm going to go back to the older Uncharted, yeah, I am tired. Or, because I feel like The Last of Us is a little too dark for my normal playing standards. Obviously, if I do run out of stuff, I might film that. I don't think I'm going to do vlogs that frequently, or I might get a camera, set up a frame lapse on it, and draw something, because I've been doing a little bit of that recently. Reminding me that I need to do my art homework for Monday. And yeah, so I'm not sure where to go. I'm obviously going to play Red Dead Redemption 2, because it's a prequel, so you don't need to see the first one. Haha! They should release a remastered. And then that way I can play Red Dead Redemption 2, then followed by Red Dead Redemption 1. Yay! Anyway. Also, I've already seen my outfit. It's brilliant. Brown coat. Of course I'm going to do that. I did that with Red Dead Redemption 1. I was about to say Mass Effect again. So yeah, you can tell I've been playing Mass Effect a lot. So yeah. We'll see what happens. Since I've only gone about 10 minutes, I'm gonna just come in with now the film thing. Well, my career. I'm hoping to get into filming, so I'm writing a script at the moment. Half of it's a book, half of it's script. That's gonna be really fun to change back. The script is based off of Uncharted. It's got bits from Uncharted 4 and a couple of the other Uncharted. For instance, with basically finding a pirate colony. Difference is it's sci-fi, so it's in space. Hence why it's called Space Treasure. The characters are literally just basically based off of me and all my other friends. You know, so there's me, Ben, Bo, Rowan, and then recently I've now made a new friend, Georgia. And they get introduced in pretty much the order that I met them in. Apparently I met Ben first, but this is the problem that actually, sadly, I have sort of drifted away from him. Since we went to secondary school, we sort of lost touch. It's a very sad story that I'm not going to get into. I look so sad. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, to be honest. You know, but he's not. He's basically the complete opposite of me. He's sporty, he's popular, I'm not. So, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that was bound to happen. It just took a really long time. So anyway, when I do these, they're stories sort of based off of video games and films and things that I like. And I'm hoping that they will go on. And I'm hoping that they get popular enough that I can actually at least finish the series. That's like the boundary that I'm able to keep making films. I don't expect them to be like James Bond. That's the closest I can say. I can't think of anything that's gone on that will go on for as long as this if it all goes to plan. And I say that because there are 60 of these. That's not including anything else. 60 for the main plot thing. It's not really a plot, but there's like a background one. But anyway, the first two, so the first one was like Space Treasure. The second one, I don't even know what it's called, but I've started writing a demo version of the script at school on random pieces of paper. I doubt I'm going to copy these over, but it's nice to get some ideas out based on Max Payne. They do have aspects that are similar, but I try to make them separate, but then still feel similar to them. So you can almost tell where the inspiration came from, but they don't seem like they are exact copies, because otherwise that's a video game film. So yeah. I'm not obviously a good script writer, due to me also being antisocial. That makes writing a script a whole lot easier. It doesn't. But I will see what happens. I'm probably also going to try and do, and I did have plans and things like that, but I did come up with the idea that all of these characters are necessarily immortal. That this takes a bit of an aspect from Doctor Who, the fact that they regenerate into a different look. That, I know some people might criticize that, but they are technically meant to take place in the same universe-ish. The Doctor is mentioned, but not in the first one or the second one, or ever really until they reach Earth. And I say until they reach Earth, which is like 20 stories in. Considering how no wait, it should be 25, shouldn't it? Oh no, I skip a few. I was just thinking every film is basically based in a different galaxy. They slowly work towards Earth, which apparently is 25 galaxies, but I just realised they do skip a few along the way. In the case of films, each galaxy takes about 25 billion years, no billion or million, that's a huge difference, but somewhere along the to get from one side of the galaxy to the other, varying on their size and how many times they stop. And they basically just go from one to the other, move on, one to the other. They're not special characters, they're not like heroes or anything like that. To be honest, I've even made sure that every villain and hero isn't a good or a bad guy. They're just, because if you consider it, actually my character, Nurse Jones, is the only one with that name, and some people comment on it, not that frequently though, because they are the only ones who look like humans, I suppose. And since this thing is, as I said, 25 million or billion years to get from one to the other, and it takes them about 20 stories to reach Earth, and Earth is in the Middle Ages when they get there, obviously people don't really know about what humans are, and to be honest, the planet probably isn't even formed. Well, it won't have been formed. Wouldn't have been formed by the first film. And they do a lot of stuff, like if you want an idea, their first ship is actually called the Junker when you translate it. That is done completely on purpose, and it's how they refer to it. The Junker, no space, capital T, capital J. That is their ship. It was literally a garbage ship. It would come, it would pick up your bins, it would take it off somewhere and then destroy the rubbish. Now that it is 30 years old, retired, they found it in a scrapyard, and now that's their ship. I even say that it smells like a dead body in there, and they never managed to get rid of that smell. Good thing is that one of the characters, Nurse, lives in that thing. Rowan eventually goes off to university, because he is 16 in that film. I am hoping to get Nathan Fillion to play that character. It's a bit like Mal, and I'm hoping he'll join. Originally I intended for the character to be 20. Now he's 40. But it's like this thing, I've tried to plan it all together. There's like the mysterious man who's sort of a mixture of, a bit like G-Man. He was very intended to be like G-Man and then sort of changed off to be his own character eventually. He wears a suit, but it's more like a double-breasted suit. He does carry a briefcase, but he is a little bit different. He's still a mystery, but he has a little bit more personality. He does come through and eventually become this quite friendly character that Nurse becomes quite connected to by the end. So by that 60th story, they are really good friends. The first one is like business. Also, the characters do slowly get older. Necessarily, this is not... It's like a weird thing that necessarily they're not getting older through their regenerations. They are always random, but the films necessarily focus on them slowly getting older. Thus, you can then tell how long the series is going to go for. He starts in his 20s-ish. Obviously, the first one, he's probably going to be... How old is Nathan Fillion? He was doing Castle... I'm trying to think when Castle was in 2000... No. When was Series 7? 2012, maybe? I remember one was in 2010, but I feel like that was Series 4. So, maybe 2013. Anyway, and they described him as a late 30-year-old. So he's probably going to be 40 or 50. Probably coming to his 50s in that one. Don't think he can play the guitar. That might cause some problems. But anyway, I've also planned to have a lot of stuff. Like I'll have Firefly-styled music, or I suppose if you want an Uncharted version, Uncharted 3. Well, to be honest, all of the music done for Uncharted, as far as I know, is done by the same person who did Firefly music. So, yeah. But Uncharted 3, especially, which one was it? It wasn't For Better or Worse. Something Better, that's what it's called. Or at least that bit when technically Nate proposes to Elena, I think for the second time? For the second time, at the end of Uncharted 3. The music that plays at that, or I suppose if you listen to the audio version from the soundtrack, that's about halfway through it. There's like a pause and then it plays the guitar. That is basically what Firefly music sounds like. Pretty much I would have that bit, so like an orchestra, where lots of foreign instruments, because it's not based in any location whatsoever, so I can mix all of them together. But also get I Fight Dragons, hopefully, to write some of the music for it. So bits that focus on Nurse, because he's a little bit more of a video game kind of thing. You even see that he tries to, in one of them, he even explains that the way he deals with killing so many people is he pretends it's a video game. You suppose that means he's a little bit mentally, not disturbed, but, you know, a lifetime of killing people and not really having any care to do with it does probably do that to you. So, yeah. But he's got this little bit of more of a video game sound to him, whilst Rowan then has this orchestra thing, and if it works, it might not. I am open to that if it doesn't work. Trying to mix the two together. Get the orchestra to write one thing, then try to I Fight Dragons, then write a chiptune rock version of it, put the two together, see if it works. If it doesn't, then, you know, fair enough, we'll go with one or the other. Probably the orchestra. But yeah, I'm trying to make the characters seem interesting. Nurse is sort of the darkest character, pretty much because he doesn't care at all about anything. I even say he doesn't have a motive. He tells people in the second one and throughout it that it's money, but someone does call him out. It's a lie. He actually has a contract with the mysterious man about his contract has how much money he is paid per job. Whenever the mysterious man provides Nurse with jobs, Nurse pretty much will take on, you could basically say, literally anything. there is one job he won't take, and it's kind of dark, so I won't go into it. But he will take on any job, from basically taking out the bins to basically, I suppose, slave trade. He is everything. He calls himself a for hire. Pay him enough, he will do anything. Necessarily, but this thing, he said that he can only be paid as much as it is to survive, or 1,000 in whatever currency is being used extra. If he is paid 1,000 extra, more than he needs, that means for his next job he may not even get paid at all and might get completely ripped off because he's got money to spare. He also is incapable of becoming famous. And even that extends outside of his jobs. In one of them, which is Diamond Eyes, the entire group without Nurse, he's not even in that film, they go treasure hunting. They find, again, that's like the second one. That's the one where George is introduced like 3 films from before they get to Earth. But anyway, but they go off looking for this like mythical creature thing, which supposedly had diamond eyes. They find the diamond eyes. There are 5 of them. 4 are there, and they know this diamond is like probably that big. It is obviously can't be that big because it goes down someone's throat. That big? I don't know, but and basically they know something is going to happen to this. This one is for Nurse, but something will happen. And sure enough it does. They kick it down the bad guy's throats. And they choke to death-ish. I don't know what kills them first, but something kills them, and I think it was the diamond. They actually didn't realise that it was in the person's mouth when they kicked him. So, yeah. Anyway, though I must admit, writing that fight is going to be so fun. There's 5 people against 1, and that one person is able to hold them off. That's going to be hard to write, but I will find a way. And yeah, so hopefully when I do these are going to be quite... I hope they go well. I actually have Nurse's Age here. I've just realised I have this. Oh god. Right, where... Yeah, basically I can't use a calculator for these. If you do on any sort of calculator, you get an error because you can only put 100 numbers into a calculator. This is more than 100 numbers, I think. And if you do it on Google, you just get an error. But necessarily, by the time the stories are based in the present, I'm not sure if you can read that, but the top number is how old he is meant to be. That is terrible handwriting. I've just realised that. Yes, if you want another thing, it's the film theory, memes will outlive us all, video. That is the one I got the number from. All of this writing on there, those are actual numbers. I was, octillion, septillion, sextillion, quintillion. Quintillion was actually the furthest I knew. Don't know how many zeros are in a Googleplex. Don't know why I just came up with that, but anyway. The universe is meant to live about 16 octillion, so necessarily that he's about half, he's technically half his age, half the age of the universe, and is meant to be exactly the same age. When the universe dies, he dies. When he exactly hits 16 octillion years old. And some of them, like, even the last one, is actually going to be filmed earlier than it should be. And that's because when I hit 70, that is the film that I will call together everyone. So the real life Rowan, Ben, Bo, and Rowan. Wait, what? The real life Ben, Bo, Rowan, and Georgia, and obviously myself. And hopefully learn some lines and actually write down, if we had 24 hours to live, because they're at the end of time, what would we do? If we could do literally anything, apart from survive, what would you do? Survive and kill yourself. No, that's it. I don't know why you would kill yourself, but I suppose the death's not supposedly painless. No, it is painless, I think. I don't know. And I already know what my character, if I was my character, what I would do, because I keep journals. They're like Nate. How else am I going to keep track of all the things you do? Actually, I haven't written a journal for the first one, so, maybe it's brought in with the second one. I don't know if he even will now, but he's sort of thinking about his life, and was what he did worth it? I am probably going to be thinking about the exact same thing when I die, so positive thoughts. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much my career. 60 films, probably a lot of money, and using Patreon to funnel money uh, as a bit of funding. Obviously, I will sign up with an actual company. That way, I have a little bit of a better chance of being able to make more of them. And probably Universal. I don't like Fox. Not after what they did to Firefly. I don't want looking over there. But yeah. So, you know, also not Disney. Disney will not like the angle I take on my films. They can get dark. Just look at the first one. Slavery, and then apparently Nurse was a slave, and then one day later started selling slaves when he got free. One day after he was free, he started selling slaves. Yay! That's actually because slavery is legal in that first film. Yes, they're partially looking at history and future and what could happen if we encounter aliens that are less intelligent than us. Would we put them into slavery? The questions that I will bring sad answers to. Also, no film of mine has a happy ending. Even the romance ones, I will do romances. I tackle every genre, and I'm pretty sure that could lead to a failure. I am aware of that having different genres, different actors for every film, and also having no connection to the previous film until they hit the DHD where everything sort of slows down for a bit. That could discourage people from coming back because it's not the same to what it was before, but as long as you maybe like the quality of the writing or care about the characters enough, you might come back. I suppose maybe it's a way to root in other ones, and there will be comics on some of the more important versions of the characters, or backgrounds to some of the characters, like when we introduce Ben, we'll have a background comic to him. There's not a background comic to Nurse, though, because his backstory, he doesn't talk about his past. Maybe there will be, but he doesn't like talking about his past. So it sort of is slowly revealed, a bit like the Mysterious Man. Character arcs in my ones are very slow. So yeah. But anyway, I think that's pretty much everything. But yeah. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.